Hello, my name is Craig Bell. I am English teacher at Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School. I teach AP IB, I teach English honors. This presentation though is for my AP IB kids whose parents wanted to see me or meet me or not or yell at, I don't know, on the open house, but unfortunately I can't be there. And it's kind of a bummer to me because I do like being there and putting a face to the people and the students and parents and whatnot. And it's good for y'all too to see us, to meet the teachers and see what and who we are and kind of get a sense for the kind of people we are. My wife and I have a fundraiser we have to go to on Thursday night, so unfortunately can't be there. I do have some notes I'm going to be looking at, so I'll try not to forget anything. But welcome to Open House at your house on your computer. Anyway, here we go. What do? I teach IB AP, and it's kind of a combo class. It's a hybrid class. We're actually kind of fitting two classes into one. And doing that, there's a lot of work and a lot of things we have to do. I try to trim it down as much as I can over the past, 8 years of teaching this. I can't even tell you, like, the workload for the kids, it used to be quite a bit more. So as bad as it seems right now, it used to be worse. But we're still getting pretty much the same results, except for last year was a little dip, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. We have three assessments that we're going to be doing. There is the IOP, the individual oral presentation, which your students will be doing this semester at the end of this semester. It is a 10 to 15 minute presentation that they will do on one of the books that we're reading this semester. Then they have the written assignment, which is a 12 to 1500 word paper. That'll be next semester. The draft will be early April, and the final copy will be end of April. That is based on one or two of the books that we read next semester, which are translated works. There will be what we call, we will have the group discussions, and we also have reflective statements, and we have supervised writings, and then it'll culminate in a 1,200 to 1,500 word paper that they will write next semester. And then we end the year in May 15th, I believe, this year, with the AP Language and Composition exam. So students who are non-IB, AP only, I'm going to do all the assessments anyway. Why? Because presentation and presentation skills are really important. Clearly, I could have used a couple more with this video. I'm a much better English teacher than video maker, so please don't judge that. But presentation skills are important, so why would we not have them do a presentation? There we go. Written assignment, 1,200, 1,500 word paper. One of the biggest gripes and complaints about people teaching first year composition is students don't seem to write that much in school. So let's do something a little more extended, even though that's really not that extended. And then the AP exam, well, you want college credit. So non-IB students, AP exam can potentially get you college credit. That's a great thing with passing of the exam. If you're an IB student, it's still a good thing to have and will provide you, even if you don't get the IB diploma, although there are ways around that too, you can get college credit also. What do we do? Well, we read a lot. We're going to read a lot of books. We have 6. We're going to begin with In Cold Blood, which we've already begun with, then by Truman Capote. Then we have All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. Then we're going to do The Bean Trees by Barbara Kingsolver. And then next semester, we start with Silence by Albert Camus. And then we have Shusaku Endo's Silence. And then we have Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. That's a French, Japanese, and then Spanish translated works for next semester. In the meantime, we're going to have tons of columnists that the students are going to read, which you probably already heard about. You are hearing about it right now. I know I'm hearing about it. They're going to have other documents they're going to be reading. There's going to be other literature about the books that we're reading. They're going to be reading lots of reading, and thus lots of writing, which they've already begun. And with that writing comes lots of feedback. I will be reading a ton of their work. Therefore, that's why I'm such a pain. I'm so sorry, but I'm such a pain with the way that they provide me with the information because I read so much. It needs to be conformed. There has to be some sort of conformity to what they hand me so that I can handle what it is that they're bringing me. It's just so, the volume is so high. So please, um, I get it. It's a pain, but there's a reason. There's a method behind the madness. Okay. And with that comes assessment. And I can't tell you, every single year during this time of year, the students start getting their assessments back, their work back from me. And I like to think I'm an honest guy. My granddad told me, don't trust somebody who tells you to. But I try to be honest with regards to where that student is at that point in time. One of the things I find that we need to make sure we understand as teacher, parents, student, administrators, everybody, an assessment on a paper, a student writes a paper, I give them a grade. They get a C, they get a D, they get a B, they get an A, whatever it is. That has nothing to do with who they are, with their worth and their self-worth. Nothing to do with that. All it is, all that it is an evaluation letting that student know where they are on that particular assignment on that particular day. Now, if I've done my job, I've given them information, and then after they provide me the assignment, after we've done the information and gone through the instruction, and if they have performed at a place they don't want to be, the next go around, and there's plenty of time to make this stuff up and to make it to improve. If they look at the feedback I provide them, if they understand it, great. If they don't understand it, if they then come to me and ask for explanation, could you help me with this? I don't understand what you mean. Happy to help them. I'm there at 7:30 in the morning. I'm there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Have them come in at 8 o'clock, 7:45, 3:30, 3:45. I'd be happy to help them and walk them through whatever they need. They improve, and then the grades go up. It's miraculous. It's almost invariable that a student who engages in their learning, takes control of their learning, reads the feedback, takes it to heart, and then improves and then applies it to their work, invariably they succeed. There's a rumor. I've heard it. Nobody gets an A in Bell's class. Nobody. That's not true. A lot of people get A's. A lot of people get B's. A lot of people get C's, D's, and F's. I'm not saying they don't, but I am saying if your student does all the work in my class, they can't. I don't think they can get lower than a C. Maybe they can. They can work on it, but I don't think they can. A's and B's take effort, take aptitude, take the student caring not just about the grade, but caring about the learning. And once they do that, the grade follows every time. Going back to our success, we're pretty successful at this. Over the years, my average, except for last year, but my average is usually right below 90% on the AP exam, which is a good 40, 45 points, 40, 35, 40 points, 35 to 40 points higher than the national average. It's up there. Last year we had a dip, but even then, there's a direct correlation between students who have done the work, engaged in their learning, and taken control of what they learn, and then apply that, they are successful on the AP exam. Miss Rowan and I, she teaches the other two parts for the IB class. She and I are very successful at students passing the English portion of the IB assessments, almost 100%. And for most years it is 100%, but every now and then we get one or two that, for whatever reason, and those reasons vary, are not successful. But we're pretty successful most of the time. I'm going to work. I'm going to work to help your kids. I will never, ever, ever, ever do anything to harm a kid. I will never say something. I will never give an assessment. I'll never give feedback. I will never do anything to consciously, knowingly do harm to a kid. Sometimes there's things going on in a kid's life, and unfortunately, I've given them feedback, or I've given them, and it bothers them, and I'm sorry. I'm an approachable person. Come on in, 7:30, 8, 8:15, whatever. Talk to me. Speaking of which, communication. bell.craig@brevardschools.org. That's BELL.CRAIG@brevardschools.org. Send me an email. But I'd like to talk to you just for a minute, parents, about that. Your students have fewer than 4 semesters left in high school, and they're going to college. This is a wonderful opportunity, an incredible opportunity for your student to engage in communication with adults about issues they have. If your student has a problem with a grade, doesn't understand an assignment, has a problem with an assignment, has a problem with feedback, whatever it is, I suggest to you that you allow them to initiate the conversation, initiate the help. 9 times out of 10, 95 times out of 100, 98 times out of 100, that fixes it. It's a miscommunication, whatever it is. If I've done something wrong or if I've made a mistake, I promise you I'll fix it. If you look at the grade and it's like it's a 2 out of 20 instead of a 20 out of 20 and the paper says 20 out of 20, clearly I have 150 kids, 140 kids. I made a mistake. I put a 2 instead of I missed the 0. I'll fix it. It's easy. Have the student come talk to me. If your student comes to talk to me and they can't get it rectified, please get engaged. I'm a parent. My kids are old. I'm old. But I would be very happy to talk to you and communicate with you. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm just saying this is a great opportunity to help your student learn and be able to communicate with adults, professors about grades and about things, because they're going to be having to do it really quickly. And if you have students taking dual enrollment, they're already doing it. They already have to do that. So if you communicate with me, if you email me, and I have not gotten back to you in 24 hours, email me again. I get 1,000 emails a day. Hyperbole. I know not that many, but I get a lot. And it's very possible that something has slipped through the cracks. I'll be happy to communicate with you, but maybe I missed it. But I'll try not to. That being said, please email. You're welcome to call me, but email is so much easier. And if you want me to call you, email me. Please call me and give me your number. I'll be happy to call you. I have no problem communicating. But if it's about a grade, let's do that on Monday. We don't have to do it over the weekend. We don't need any panicked. Everything is fixable. Every error, every problem is fixable. If your student is struggling on an assignment, please have them email me over the weekend. They have both my Gmail account and my school account, and I would much rather have a student emailing me Saturday afternoon because they're working on an assignment and I can help them clarify something over the weekend that alleviates their stress. In the evening, if they're working on something, email me. I check my email a couple times in the evening. That comes straight to my phone. I can easily give them feedback and help them do and deal with any kind of problems that they have. If we can't, then come see me in the morning. Everything's fixable. Now, if your student doesn't do the work, I can't fix that. But if you see that they're not doing the work, and I update to Edline regularly, if you see they're not doing the work, please communicate with me. I'll do whatever I can, but I don't do extra credit, so sorry about that. If they work and they plan and they don't procrastinate, they're going to be fine. I know that's a lot to ask. I just told you about my communication, bell.craig@brevardschools.org. Please communicate me. Communicate me. How about that for an English teacher? Communicate with me. I've taken about this like my 40th take on this thing, so I'm sorry if there are errors here. Again, I'm not a TV guy, but I am a teacher who cares. Even though my granddad told me, never trust somebody who tells you to, if you feel through communication, through my feedback, through anything, you feel that I'm doing somebody wrong, let me know. I'll change it. But I don't think it's going to be the case. I look forward to a fantastic year. I look forward to your students being enormously successful. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to email me. Again, I'm so sorry I couldn't make the open house, but hopefully this helps. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry too. If it scares you as well as your student, I'm sorry, but I'm trying. Anyhow, thank you so very much. I look forward to a great year. Communicate if you need to. Bye-bye.